Hey, YouTube. What's up? You're first. I got a new mic, and this is all new to me. All right, here we go. Are we live on the server or not?
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with the greed and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundaries. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of the Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place where I can get a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clevin, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a power goal!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Well, hi ho, everybody, and a happy new year from Cave Crew Radio. My name is DK, and I am live from my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I feel like a loaded cannon, one of those t-shirt cannons at a Justin Bieber contest right now. I do not want to answer anything with a GIF. A GIF, whatever you call it. And I don't play Gardenscapes for the last time. 2018, we are back, and I have with me from Queens, New York. I love it. Sir
Yes,
Big B.
I am here, Sir Big B, live from Queens, New York, and I am. I have what's called the parent with children's disease.
I got strep throat.
That means when you have a kid that's in school, they get the kid's disease. That's everything that could possibly goes around in school. Your kids bring it home and give it to you. So apparently I woke up this morning with my throat on fire. I feel like crap. But the good news is I'm drinking some nice peach brandy. I have a little hobo bottle of peach brandy that I will be drinking throughout the night to hopefully see me through to the morning and make me feel better.
What a beautiful New York jersey you have.
You like this, huh? My New York Rangers Henrik Lundqvist jersey.
I noticed that you still have not got a new hat.
I have not. I stick to the same hat all the time.
Same hat. I try to change my hat every week. I'm always like, Big B, I'm always like, I'm going on the air. Shit, I wore that hat last week. Not you.
No.
You're so casually cool.
Well, ever since I was a kid, I've worn a hat, for as long as I can remember, but I've always stuck to the same hat unless it gets torn apart for whatever reason. If my dogs find it and rip it apart, I got to go buy a new one. But for the most part, I stick to the same hat.
Yeah, and what a lovely hat it is. Yankees 2020, right?
Yankees, well, I mean, you know, with the moves that they're making this offseason, it could be Yankees 2018. You never know.
You never know. We'll see. But hey, how are things going other than your lupus?
Whatever fucking disease I have is taking over my life at the moment. I must say though, I did have a nice laugh when I saw you on Facebook Live, accidentally on purpose.
Total mistake. I was actually talking to Stu, planning how we're gonna fuck you up the ass.
Well, let's before I go into how I stumbled across you fucking being on Facebook Live. Let's bring in our old pal Choo Stu. I do believe I hear London calling for the new year.
Yeah, he is.
Folks, how you doing? Happy New Year to everyone.
He always sounds like he's a little pixie on a I don't know how to explain.
Sorry, Happy New Year to everyone, and hope all is well, apart from Big B is suffering now.
I am suffering, but yeah, as I'm suffering, I'm sitting on my couch and watching. I was watching movie Kingpin, and flipping through. I get a notification on my phone that DK is live on Cave Crew Radio on Facebook. I said, "Oh, cool. Let me chime in." He usually does a pre-show thing. You never know where he is in his house, and he's hyping up the show, and it's all good stuff. So I said, "Oh, let me tune in." I tune in, and I'm looking at his fucking ceiling. I see ceiling tiles of his drop ceiling of his fucking basement, and I hear him talking. So I come in the middle of this, like 3 minutes into it. So I figured maybe he's doing his normal pre-show thing, and he just put the phone down for a second. Because I see him like off in the corner, the lower right-hand corner. I see a little bit of him, right? So I'm waiting.
You see this little pinch of DK.
That's all I see. So I'm thinking, all right, he's put it down for a second and he's going to come back. So I'm standing there waiting and waiting. And I hear him talking. I don't hear him talking to anybody but himself.
No, I was talking.
Obviously, when he does the pre-show, he's talking to the camera, talking to the phone. So, okay, and then suddenly he's very conversational about things. He's making statements and pausing for an answer. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is going on here? And I wrote in the chat, what am I watching? And then suddenly I realized that he's talking to Stu, but I can't hear Stu. Because Stu is either you were in this room already talking on the internet or you were talking on the phone. So all I hear is DK's side of the conversation saying, "Oh yeah, it's good that I'm doing this," and then a pause. What the fuck is going on? So I realized he's talking to Stu. So I message our fearless leader DK. I said, you're on Facebook Live, right? Like 2 minutes later, he picks up the phone. Oh, shit. I didn't realize I was on Facebook Live. Stop.
You know what? I'm getting old, baby. It's time for me to...
Is senility the new thing in the new year? Is that what this is?
You know what it is? It's dementia. And I was actually listening to a show today on the radio, and it said dementia is a really slow thing, and concussions and all this shit, and now Big B just fucking left us.
He forgot what he was doing.
I guess
he just walked off.
Dementia.
Maybe he's got dementia.
He's gone.
Gone back to watch Kingpin.
All right, hey, before we go any further, Stu, we have a sponsor.
Sponsor?
Okay, fuck off.
Tell me it's someone that produces beer,
no
spirits, tobacco.
Got nothing about to do with beer or anything. They went to advertisecast.com where we can be found if you want to sponsor us at any time. Apparently, they do a Twitch TV show. They're called the Smoking Sessions.
Twitch? Where'd you get that?
I think it's like a thing like our kids do, right? It's like an Xbox Live type of thing. So anyway,
okay.
Go to www.twitch.tv/smoking sessions. And we can catch these dudes that love us and sponsored us.
Nice.
For tonight's show. Apparently there's a guy called Jason Nova. He's a conservative guy.
My kind of guy.
And then there's another. Oh, you're back. Welcome back.
I called away for a second.
Fuck, you just like disappear out of nowhere.
I'm sorry, I got called away.
By who?
Family Matters.
A job interview? Like what? All right.
Boy, anyway, do I wish.
So we got Jason Nova, who's a conservative, and then we have Crazy Rocky, who's a liberal, and they're apparently going to be smoking, awesome, drinking, awesome, and having a good time talking about political topics and reacting to comedy videos on Twitch TV. Okay. So, folks, thank you to these guys for sponsoring us. Smoking Sessions over on Twitch TV.
Thank you.
Advertise Cast. You can hit us up. Go too.
Every now and then, Advertise Cast comes through.
Not for Metal Thunder Radio, but for
not at all for Metal Thunder Radio. I've never gotten one inquiry on Metal Thunder Radio
because they listen to us and they go, there's Stu telling some guy to open fortune cookies and you know. Anyway, go listen to Smoking Sessions on Twitch TV.
Thank you, guys.
I've never watched Twitch TV myself.
I don't know what Twitch TV is. My son has an Xbox. I guess I should look it up then.
The kids will do it, and they will see.
If you've got an Xbox, why would you watch Twitch TV on it?
Well, I guess it's like YouTube or Roku or
they play the game. Like my son plays the games and watches someone else play the game on YouTube on his phone.
Yeah. Well, Jake does the same.
I know you can do all sorts of things.
I'm sure Big Kid does the same.
My son does the exact same thing. He'll play on his Xbox and then go up to his room and watch somebody play the stupid game on his phone.
Yeah.
Cheesy when we just had an Atari.
Wasn't it? That's all we did was just sit there play Atari. We'd go outside for most of the day, then come in the evening and then play Atari for a little while. Yeah. So our parents said, that's enough. Turn on channel 2, whatever it is, so we can watch the news.
Do you remember when ColecoVision came out?
I do. It was too expensive for me. That was like way advanced.
My buddy had ColecoVision, and it was like the coolest thing ever.
Or anybody that had it, you thought was rich, like at least in my area, because ColecoVision came. We had the Atari 2600, right, and a lot of people had that. But then ColecoVision came out, and it was more advanced. It was more computerized, and all of this, and it was ridiculously expensive. So only what we thought was like the rich kids had it.
Yeah,
I love you with this really dark voice.
You like that, huh? Yeah, that's what happens with whatever fucking disease I have. I woke up with my throat on fire. But again, some good old peach brandy to try to get that resolved.
I think that's one of the best things about being ill. If you've got a bottle of brandy, spirit there, you can drink that and guilt free.
Yeah, definitely.
I really want to, on a serious note, before we get crazy here, Al, the announcer, Al, the producer, whatever he calls himself, his mom is really sick, and Cave Crew Radio prayers are out to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I miss him. I really do. He usually drives me nuts. He's like, usually, DK this, DK that, DK this. I feel I'm like missing something in my life. Al, God bless you. God bless your family. And our prayers are with you.
Hey, Al's in the chat. He's made it into the chat room.
Oh, there you go. So before we go into any stories or anything like that, any special New Year's? Because like I fucking slept till like 9 o'clock, and my wife's like, the ball's gonna drop. Like, did you guys? Big B, you were watching Twilight Zone, weren't you?
Well, here we have on the Sci-Fi Network every New Year's for like New Year's Eve, all New Year's Eve and all New Year's Day, there's the Twilight Zone marathon. So that's what we watch, and they also have the Honeymooners marathon on a different channel. So I flip back and forth.
Honeymooners.
Yeah, flip back and forth between the Honeymooners and the Twilight Zone. So I turned to my wife. I said, "You staying up till midnight?" And she looks at me. She's like, "Fuck no." She took my youngest son upstairs to bed around 8:30, 9 o'clock, somewhere around there. I was like, all right, I'll sit on the couch, and I passed out. I fell asleep. I don't even know what time I fell asleep, but I missed the ball drop, only to be awakened about 4 minutes after the ball drop to my neighbor screaming his full head off and blowing horns and everything, yelling Happy New Year in the middle of the fucking neighborhood at 12:04 a.m. Like, you're gonna be he's the only one doing it. Everybody else is like in their house fucking asleep or whatever they're doing.
My wife woke me up, and she's like, and look, I'm gonna look really stupid. Not that I'm not normally stupid, but she goes, okay, you were asleep. We watched this wedding that the host of Family Feud did, and we watched Neil Diamond play, and what's her name wanted a fucking tea. Mariah Carey.
Oh God.
Right. Oh, this is beautiful this year. I've rectified myself, but they promised me a tea. Like, fuck's sakes, go see Stu. And so I sat with my wife and I said, I'm sorry I missed that, sweetheart. And she goes, it's okay. They're going to drop the ball in the Central Zone. And so I'm an idiot. I'm thinking, don't we all have New Year's at the same time? No, we don't.
No.
So New Orleans was like an hour later.
Well, did you really think Stu has New Year's the same time we do?
Well, no, but he lives on the moon.
I mean, that's why I said in our group chat, Happy New Year to Stu at like 7 o'clock at night, because it was his New Year.
I think a Stu though is like Area 51, right?
Completely different.
but I honestly, like, my wife normally thinks I'm fairly intelligent. I'm good at Jeopardy and all these different things, and I said, really, New Orleans has a different New Year's Eve. So
Australia had it the day before.
Australia had it like 2 weeks ago.
Here's where I have to struggle with all this shit, though. So we have this clock, and everyone has a different New Year's Eve. So, like, if the world ends,
right?
Like, if Armageddon finally hits, does it happen at different times?
Well, yes.
Well,
If Armageddon was to happen,
world fucking ends.
right. So let's just say right now, my time reads 9:20. So 20 after 9 here in the
20
East.
after 9 Eastern. I'm same time as you.
Okay, so yeah, we're the same time. Stu is not. Stu is like, he's off in the
20
future.
after 2 or something.
He's in the future sometime. So yes, if Armageddon was to happen now, it would happen at 9:20 in the East, 2:20 in London, 3 weeks from now in Australia.
So would still be able to technically Facebook me and say, DK, Jesus Christ has come. You're going to hell.
He could, but only if he had a flux capacitor.
You have 20 minutes, okay, to because you're fucked.
That depends on where it starts too. Remember, Armageddon has to start, so it's not the whole planet's going to explode at the same time.
I don't understand this. This is like the flat Earth kind of shit. Right?
Oh God, those assholes.
No, but I'm saying this time zone shit is, if it happens in England, are you trying to tell me it's like when a tree falls in a forest, nobody hears it?
No, those are two completely separate things. So if Armageddon was to start in England, let's say Armageddon was to start at Stu's house.
Yes, Jesus Christ rose the earth.
Right.
There was a bright light in the sky, and Stu goes, "Oh my God, I repent."
Right. So
how much time would we have?
It depends on how fast moving Armageddon is. I couldn't tell you that. I mean, we are about, what are we, Stu? 5 hours difference, I think.
5 hours behind.
Right.
5 hours, right. So we're 5 hours behind you in normal time zone speak.
Right.
I don't know how fast Armageddon happens because it never happened before. So I can't put a timer on it.
Exactly the same time.
Maybe if it happens to you first, we miss it totally.
It could. It depends on where it starts.
So Stu gets taken by the rapture.
Right.
He's like Facebooking. See you later, guys. I'm going to see Saint Richard or whatever his name is, the guy that decides where you go. Right. And you and me are sitting here in the Eastern time zone going, holy fuck.
Right. It's coming. We don't know how long it's going to take to get here, but it's coming.
Yeah. So we're sitting by the fireplace. We're spending some family time. We're reading some Dr. Zeus, whatever the fuck we choose to do before we go nana.
Correct. Think of it in terms of when the dinosaurs got extinct.
Right. The dinosaurs died 5 hours before the dinosaurs in North America.
Right, because remember, the meteor hit at a certain spot. I don't know where on the planet the meteor hit, but the meteor hit on a certain spot, and then it went outwards, right? So it hits in one spot, destroys the immediate area, and then goes like a shockwave. It goes outward. So it takes some time to move outward to the other places where it goes. So yes, it does happen in different times. It will happen to everyone, but it will happen at different times.
So we're actually blessed being in the Eastern time zone that we will live approximately 5 hours more than everyone else.
If you think it's going to start at Stu's house, yes. If it starts at your house, you're at ground zero. You die immediately.
Well, then what would happen to Stu because he's behind us?
Well, but it goes out in all directions, so he will get it 5 hours later.
All right. So it might happen to Stu tomorrow instead of yesterday.
Well, right now it is tomorrow with Stu.
I realize. So what I'm saying is if the end of the world happened with us, you and I in the Eastern time zone,
right?
When would Stu perish or be taken by the rapture or whatever we want to call it?
Well, again, the end of the world hasn't happened yet, or hasn't happened before. So I don't know the exact time of how long Armageddon takes to reach different countries. Going on the time difference of where we stand now, if Armageddon was to follow that time, it would take Stu 5 hours from the time that we blow up. It would take Stu 5 hours later to blow up.
Stu would actually have 5 hours to build a bomb shelter.
Well, I mean,
or whatever
I'll
would
just go to work.
You know, with the amount of garbage picking that Stu does, I'm sure he's already got all the equipment to build a bomb shelter at the allotment. And I'm sure that's already underway. So he would have 5 hours to finish his allotment bomb shelter with various people's garbage and go and hide.
Definitely. And it would be made probably out of lined with pallets and stuff like that. You know?
I don't think pellets would help you with Satan.
But Stu has a point. What he said though, he would go to work. If you're far enough underground, I don't know how far London subways are, dug underground, but you're far enough underground, you could be saved.
Yeah. So what you're saying is Stu would go, I might as well get one more day in my pension. I'm sure there's pension in the afterlife.
Stu would go to work to file his pension claim and make sure that it goes through before the end of the world.
I would. And make sure that my overtime for New Year's Eve, because while you two were partying on your sofas, I was actually hard at work because I'm a money grabber. And
how was that? I have to ask, how was the London Underground at New Year's at the stroke of midnight, or between midnight and 1 a.m.?
Well, I was fortunate. I booked on my shift at 9:30 at night. I'd done the night shift as it paid. So I booked on at 9:30, and within about 20 minutes, someone had pulled the emergency handle, which is what we all dread because you've got to do that walk back. We have to walk back and reset the alarm, and everyone's cheering and ruffling your hair up and.
You have no fucking hair. Who's ruffling your fucking hair?
But yeah, so fortunately it was like the second carriage, so I'll just run back, reset the alarm, and then when I got to the other end, I had like a meal break almost straight away. So my meal break was at 11 o'clock at night until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So I missed the whole thing, and we were all sitting there, and then pinging. So, oh yeah, it's midnight. Like we were just talking about, But so I totally missed it really. But I had an uneventful evening right until I put my train away in the depot at 4:30 in the morning.
Are you like?
And I had one guy.
Are you like Thomas the Train and like you just park? Like, what do you mean you put your train in the depot? Do you park it?
Well, when I got to the end of the line, right, I have to what we call tip out. My cat is moving the microphone. I have to tip out.
Stu's cat.
And get everyone off. The cat is rubbing her. She's sort of like biting these clips that I've got on the microphone cable. Yeah. So anyway, I've got one. Look, she's moving the bloody mic.
It's the end of the world. We have 5 hours, Bigby.
No, anyway, so I have to empty out my train. I've got one guy who's asleep in the bloody cable. I had look.
Holy shit! That cat. Can you get that cat on camera?
She's rubbing her face on the microphone boom.
Okay.
If you're trying to do something, a cat will always interfere. Oh, that's a cute kitty. I like that kitty.
I don't like that. Go against the wall.
But anyway, I've got this one fella that's asleep, and I'm pretty sure he's been on my train for about 2 or 3 trips.
So he's just riding in a circle.
Well, he's going up and down. I saw him when I changed ends a couple of times. Anyway, he's sitting there. He's got this holdall bag on his lap. I'm not pissing about with this guy. So I grabbed hold of the handle of his bag and shook it vigorously and went, "Come on, mate, that's it. Time's up. You know, go and get a bed and breakfast or something, you know. Go and get a hotel." So anyway, he wakes up.
Breakfast.
So he wakes up,
Okay.
right, and he's got this Eastern European accent. And then he's gone to me, "Do you know your procedure, sir? Do you know your procedure?"
Wait, you need to stop right there. What exactly is a European accent to a British person?
No, Eastern European. It's like Polish or something like that,
Like
you know?
Polish or Slovakian or...
Yeah. So anyways,
fucking bigot.
he's saying to me, he's asking me, "Do you know your procedure, sir?" Or something like that. Oh, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning. What's this guy's talking in riddles? Just get off the train, whatever. He goes, "You touched me.
Oh,
you touched me." And I said, "I never touched you. I touched your bag, sir. I do know my procedure." He said, "You are not allowed to touch anyone." I just touched your bag.
You turned
my train.
You turned into Choo Choo Sue, and you got yourself some dick, didn't you?
He took the hashtag Me Too thing literally. You know what? Me too. I'm going to touch somebody.
My God.
But I did worry because I think, this. Do you know, you always get one. He's going to write in. He's going to phone up. He's going to go and see the station master.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go. I want to go a little further on this because me and Big B. Yeah, he's got the the New York accent, and I'm the Canadian. I say hey, but what exactly is an Eastern European accent to an Englishman?
What does it sound like? I mean,
yeah, like what's an Eastern European accent to an Englishman?
It's probably like the Eastern, like a heavy Czechoslovakian accent.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we've got so much of it over here. It's like, oh God, to be honest, very few people speak English these days. I walk down my local town. I walk down my local town
of English.
I walk down my local town and there's no one speaking English anymore. It's like it's very strange. You feel like a own town,
The days of Benny Hill are gone.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Now, I have a question for you, Stu. Is your train free on New Year's Eve? Because here in New York City, all public transportation is free on New Year's Eve.
Everyone.
Ours used to get sponsored by like a Mars bar, like the chocolate bar or Foster's lager.
Right.
Alcohol is banned on our underground now. So there's no carrying of any empty vessels.
Either a chocolate bar or a beer.
Yeah, but now they're just free. I suppose we are paying for it as Londoners, but it's free between something like midnight and 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, ours is similar to that. Yeah, I think it might actually be the same between midnight and 4 o'clock in the morning. Our public transportation is free.
Who sponsors your train, Big B?
Nobody. We like Stu said, we as the taxpayers ultimately pay for it.
Everyone rides home alive, right?
Yeah, well, that's the logic behind it. Where the cities would rather see you get home alive and safe. So you know what? Ride for free. Go ahead. Don't drive. You can be on public transportation for free.
Fuck.
These are the things you don't get in a small Canadian town there, DK.
But do you know what they make us do as well here? Do you know the firework display, yeah? In London, it's along the Thames.
Mm-hmm.
They make it a ticket event now.
Is that
so? It's £10.
Oh, really?
What's his name?
Who's going to pay for it? But £10. It's just so because of overcrowding. They don't want anyone to get hurt.
See, they don't do that here.
That Jack, what's his name? You tell us about. that when you light all the fireworks and Jack Frost Day. Jack Folks Day.
Was that the guy that was like burned alive or something like that?
He burned, and they all marched down the street in their red coat.
Right.
Kids, stop doing that.
All right.
See, here in the U.S., they don't charge like to be in Times Square, but they have you all penned off like fucking cattle. And once you're in, you can't leave. So, which means if you have to go to the bathroom, you're fucked.
So what do you do? Pee your pants?
People wear adult diapers. I mean, you have to be there by like noon or something, noon or 2, somewhere between noon and 2, something like that. And then you're penned in. You can't leave. If you leave, you're done. You can't come back in. So you have to stay there. And if you got to pee, you either hold it for fucking 8 hours or you piss your pants, one or the other.
So you're
porta potties or anything.
I'm watching Dick Clark's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing all these people waving and jumping up and down, and I think they're excited, but they're literally peeing their pants.
They're jumping up and down because they got to pee. They're doing the pee-pee dance.
So all these people,
I'll get this catch. My cat's trying to rip the sofa into pieces. Hold up.
All right, Stu's got to go. I'm going to do a break here. Hang on. And then I have a segment for Big B to do.
Oh, no.
So folks, I lately have been doing some voice exercises. I've been doing some audio acting. I'm very fortunate. Thanks to the Terraformer Network over there, they got us on Mile High Radio. Mile High Radio has Metal Thunder Radio and Cave Crew Radio. So there's a show called Tangent City, and I've been privileged to be on that, Big B. Dave the Clone over at hello9.com. And folks, it's tricky. It's hello, and then the number 9, and then INE.com. Doesn't make it easy for us. But here is something that I've been doing over the holidays. Listen to this.
No matter how high you fly or how low you go, when the night comes, you either flee the shadows or you vibe with the flow. The darkness has its own pulse and rhythm, and when the road is thousands of feet below, the wind is your guiding force that you ride like a cresting wave. Even the altitude can't diminish the shine of the lights below as you slide into a god of the night's eye view of Tangent City, where blind alleys never lead to dead ends, by land or by air.
Meanwhile, at Baxter Company Global's secret medical research facility, location classified.
Inconclusive. Are you kidding me?
Rich, god damn it. We talked about this ad nauseum, and now you want to get all emotional and furious?
Oh, the fucking irony that I just saw the rerun of the news story, where basically I told my constituents to line up and suck Baxter Company Global's dick. Ask no questions. And never mind being fed any potential lies. On the same day you had me inconclusive.
Thank God I had you sign additional paperwork.
Garrett!
This is why I'm the scientist, and you're the windbag politician. Would you be able to calm down if I told you that, for one, You have no idea what you're even freaking out about?
You told me you could work miracles, Garrett.
Actually, what I told you was no promises. And what I'm telling you now is to calm the fuck down. This is only a part of the overall experiment. Or operation, if that makes you feel better.
Experiment?
Oh, please. As if you're really so naive.
I was most certainly under the impression that this fell far closer to operation than it did experiment.
Well, suck it up, Buttercup, because whenever you ask a white coat to alter a patient's personality or consciousness, you've wandered well into experiment territory. In any case, inconclusive only means we need to wait and see what happens when the tech begins to do its thing.
I imagine if the subject were your kid, you might find inconclusive a less than assuring result.
Worst case scenario, there's absolutely no change, and your boy continues to adapt to life as a quadriplegic. Best case scenario, he walks again. There's a vast gulf of gray between these two.
You don't even know if any of what you said is true. Do you?
I do know that no new horizons were ever crested by navigators who had no intention of ever setting sail. If this works, we will be revolutionizing everything we know about the human body's potential for self-repair and healing. Your boy will have a new life as the face of a new manner of medical miracle, and you will ride the wave of positive PR all the way to the polls for years to come.
Maybe the monster I was worried about shouldn't have been the one on the table in the operating room.
I already told you. It's the one that is going to sneak up behind you when you least expect it.
How did you come to this, dealing with devils at every turn?
Seems you're finally walking around with your eyes open, Senator. Here at Baxter Company Global, though, you deal with gods. Devils only wish they had our power.
Gods, monsters, devils. Pretty hard to avoid going to hell now.
Now that your eyes are opened, maybe I can get you to let go of your precious fairy tales.
I'll settle for you fixing my son, Garrett.
Then let me get back to work. And try to keep your knee-jerk reactions at bay.
And that's what I've been up to, Big B.
Very nice there, Senator.
Senator, I'm also going to be Uncle Jack on Orchid Grove. I think, by the way, Drew, you should cast Big B. He's got a great voice.
When I don't have a disease and I hear an echo.
When you don't have lupus. How are you hearing an echo?
I hear an echo. Now I don't. It's gone now. Yes, when I don't have a fucking kid's disease from whatever the fuck I brought home from school.
I think
I'm told I have a good voice.
I really do. Big B, we're gonna have some fun with you right now.
Oh boy.
Can I just say something as well?
Of course you can.
We've got a long-standing, long-running audio drama called The Archers. It's probably run for about 50, 60 years over here, and a farm and stuff like that. But you should write in. You could be someone's an uncle or something like that, you know.
Look, I will do anything to not do what I do during the day. I will sell my soul to Armageddon, Choo Stew. If someone would just fucking hire me and take me away from this. Okay.
Anyway, what you did there, so
it did. It was good. You did a good job, Senator. You have another name now, Senator.
And I'll tell you, it's Dave the Clone over at Hello 9 Network. That is Hello, HALLO HelloW9INE.com. Hello9.
That's like hello 9
He he is a genius. I'm telling you, he does like 11 voices on the thing.
Well, so do you want to give us an insight of how you do that? So are you just reading your lines and?
Oh, all I do, Stu, is he sends me the lines. I read them. I send them like 2 or 3 takes.
Do you ever get them out of context?
What's that?
Do you ever get your lines out of context? Like, you got to say, I don't know.
When have I ever taken anything in context?
When you're meant to say, like, oh dear. You're meant to say, like, oh dear, Colonel, that's a shame. And then you go, oh dear, Colonel, that's a shame.
That's true. That's a good question. How do you know how to act the lines?
Well, you don't. But they send it to you, and you read the lines.
You've got the whole script there, yeah.
You imagine the character. It's like I have a character coming up on Orchid Grove. I'm Uncle Jack, the radio host. So that's a little bit more natural for me, right?
But for the Colonel, have you got like a hat?
I'm like a pedophile. I love how Drew has me cast for this character because he has me like a pedophile. I don't know if I played that on air or just because I like young girls in yoga pants. You know, I no, you get the lines. And we're going to start doing this on air too. We're going to start doing skits, Big B. I'm really into this. So we're going to start. I'm going to send you and Stu lines, and how you embrace your lines are completely up to you.
We could do the William Shatner overreact.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I am open and available if anybody wanted to cast me in Tangent City.
I think Big B would be a huge asset to anything. Choo Stew, on the other hand, you're leading yourself down a very malicious and dangerous road.
Stu could be the English spy.
DK, was that a compliment? It wasn't really. It was just a backhander, wasn't it?
I was just there's no compliment about it.
Have you got any punching sound effects? Because that hit me, that one.
Stu, I think you have a world of talent.
Not in radio, is it really?
Well, there's no way. There's no way Cape Radio would be anything without Choo Stew.
That's 100% correct.
I'm quite a good cook.
You know, Big B and I came up with this.
What the fuck am I doing here? Look, I'm 3 o'clock in the morning almost. Yeah, I've stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning almost just to say that.
Yeah, just to take the piss. That's all you do.
Did you have a good night, love, last night? Staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning. They basically told me I've got no talent and I'm useless, but they want me on there because they just like laughing at me.
We just like an Englishman who is so tired because he is seeing the end of the world before us. Tell us what the sun is saying, Stu, because we have 5 hours to do whatever we want.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm going to take a sex doll. I'm going to take a sex doll in a garage bathroom, and I'm going to bang the shit out of her because my wife has no time for me, and she doesn't realize the world is actually ending.
Is it going to be a used sex doll?
The sex doll ready within your you've got all these tins of beans ready for Armageddon and whatever it is, or tins of beans, bottle of water, and you've got a blow up doll hidden in the corner, some kind of robot. What would you like me to do today?
In all seriousness, I am going to go buy a sex doll because, if this is all going to come to an end, I'm going to buy some Jiffy Lube or KY jelly.
If you are going to buy a sex doll, get in quick because all the new ones talk and they talk back to you. So get in quick before you get one of those ones that don't answer back.
I don't want to. I don't want one that says Alexa moan. Okay,
no.
I prefer the quiet one. I'm gonna throw you in your belly, Google. Don't scream. I'm sticking it up your ass. Choo Choo Stew, ladies and gentlemen. I have a new segment before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
And Big B is our person tonight.
Of course I am.
Of course you are. We always choose you.
Always.
Oh my God. It's time to play Would You Rather.
I'm expecting to hear Roddy at the end of the feud.
Say, Big B, come on down.
Come on down. Big B, it's time to play Would You Rather.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to start it off easy.
Okay.
Since it's the first version of Would You Rather. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are advertised tonight by Smoking Sessions over on Twitch TV. I'll give them an extra.
That's another $5 they owe.
I think we'll keep throwing us money.
And you know what? Listen to the conservative guy, not the liberal dude.
Twitch TV. Oprah 2020.
Oh, God.
All right, Big B, I'm going to start this easy for you.
Okay.
Would you rather
be
able to see 10 minutes into your future or 10 minutes? And never mind. I can't even fucking read that. It doesn't make sense.
All right, then.
Cancel that, folks. Would you rather be alone for the rest of your life or be surrounded by annoying people?
I'd rather be alone for the rest of my life.
Really?
Absolutely.
How about you, Stu?
Well, I'm alone most of the time anyway. And when I'm not alone, I'm surrounded by annoying people. So,
I mean, no sense. All right.
See, if I'm surrounded by annoying people, I want to go find a place where I can be alone. So let's just cut out the middleman, get rid of the annoying people, and I'll be alone for the rest of the time. I have no problem with being alone.
Okay. Trust me, it gets harder as we go along.
Okay.
Would you rather be transported permanently 500 years into the future or 500 years into the past?
500 years into the past.
Really?
I've always loved time frames that aren't where we are, and I could give a shit about the future. I've always loved the Civil War era or the American Revolution era, stuff like that. Going back to 1300s. I always like to look at how we as a species survived, because we have modern medicine now, but back in 1200, they treated the common cold with fucking leeches on your nose. How the fuck did we survive as a species? So I'd much rather go 500 years
on your nose.
If you had the cold, that's what they'd put leeches on your face. I don't know. That was their version of medicine at the time.
They treated the common cold with leeches on their nose. Oh, fuck. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Would you rather have sex with someone who never showers or someone that never brushes their teeth?
Someone that never brushes their teeth. I don't need to smell their breath to have sex with them. I can just turn them around from behind and fucking put a bag over their head, and I don't have to fucking smell it or look at it. But if you don't shower, I mean, your whole body smells and stinks and ugh. Oh.
Would you rather eat out a girl and have her fart or be making out with her and have her vomit in your mouth?
Oh, fuck it. I'd rather have a fart. I don't want fucking vomit in my mouth. That's utterly disgusting. Besides, I'm not eating out her asshole. I'm eating out her fucking pussy. So she can fart. Go ahead. It goes underneath me. Fuck, I care. Sure, I smell it a little bit, but it's much I'd rather have that than fucking chunks of fucking whatever fucking dinner she had last night in my mouth. That's fucking disgusting.
Well, let me just interrupt just very quickly. The last time when I was out, when I was young, free and
of course he has a story, and this is what's going to make the show awesome.
No, I was at a sort of Christmas drink, or I was at some kind of a Christmas party or something like that, and I was sort of like getting off with this girl. I needed to go to the toilet and the bathroom, and I threw my guts up, and I just splashed a bit of water over my face and got back in. Girl, when she was round me like shit, and she was kissing.
Wait a minute. You have to speak in North American English. What exactly happened?
Right, so I was, smooching and dancing and snogging with this girl. I suddenly felt sick. I'd been drinking all afternoon and into the evening, so I went to the toilet. I was sick my guts up.
So you're up.
And then I came back. Yeah, I mean, after I was sick, I felt fine, like,
Right, so,
and
so
start drinking.
That you were drunk, and then you had to go puke.
So anyway, I've got back on the dance floor with her, and she's snogging me, her tongue's down my throat, and I remember, I'll never forget it. She goes to me, "You smell gorgeous."
Ew. So wait a minute, you just went and vomited.
What was she used to? Dead fucking corpses? Jesus, you smell gorgeous. You just fucking puked up half a fucking fish and chips that you ate fucking 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, so this is like Evil Dead 3.
Ugh.
You go and vomit, and you're sticking your tongue down her fucking throat.
Yeah,
is this the same
gorgeous?
The fish tank that you lost your pants in, or
was this the one-legged chick?
It was after her. No, it was well after her.
Is this a girl with the one leg who was really
one-legged Aborigine?
No. Her surname was Phone, funny enough. Strange name.
There's always a story. I love it. There's always a story. That's why Stu is the most interesting man in the world.
Stu will eventually. It's like an elastic, Big B. It's like an elastic. We'll tell a story, and then Stu will go, well, that reminds me of the one time.
And I don't think we've ever even scratched the surface of Stu stories.
Oh, fuck. No, there's more to come. 2018.
So do we have more Would You Rather, or was...
Yeah, I have one more. I'm still trying to recover from all this.
I'm sure with the one more, Stu will have another story.
Yeah, I can't wait. Stu, tell us a story. Would you rather your dog hump another dog or have it stare you down while you're having sex? Big B.
Would you rather
your dog,
my dog,
another dog,
hump another dog,
or watch you having sex?
I don't give a shit either way. Fuck do I care if the dog watches me have sex? Is the dog gonna go fucking jerk off later on? No, I don't give a fuck.
I I have a story, which is rare. It's usually Stu.
It's you. I'm sure Stu has a story, but you go ahead first.
Has your dog licked your balls while you was in the middle of penetration?
I will tell. I have a story now. Very quickly.
Well,
my dog.
We're all going to get to see this. This is why I do this. It's conversation.
So
I really have a problem that, and I don't like to talk about my wife in this way, but say we're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
When I look over and a dog is watching me, it really, really, really creeps me out.
I don't give a fuck.
No, it creeps me out. It does creep me out. They like, and they start sniffing, and they're watching you, and I'm like, oh my God, the world's fucking ending in England right now, and I got 5 hours. I got to finish right now. No, that doesn't bother you.
No, I don't care. It's a fucking animal. It's not like it's a fucking, it's not like I'm in a fucking storefront window and people are watching me. It's a fucking dog. Who cares?
Well, I think the dog has the eyes of the world. Like,
what is this? The fucking Omen where the dog is fucking controlling you?
Is there not a milk bone or a fucking slipper you can chew on? I'm busy for 10 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you from Stu's question, and I guess his camera's frozen. I don't know if he's listening or not, but Stu's question was, did I ever have a dog lick my balls or whatever it was when we were having sex? No, but I have a story. So I was with one of my girlfriends years, and this is well over 20 something years ago, maybe even almost 30 years ago, however long it was. Before I was with my wife, I was with one of my previous girlfriends, and we were having sex, and she was on top of me, and her dog was running around. It apparently, because as I'm laying down, she's on top of me. She really moved really quick, just jumped a little bit. Apparently the dog jumped up on the bed and licked her ass. Like, okay. So it didn't lick me, it licked her.
Did she like it?
No, she did not.
I don't know. I probably like that. But I don't know. Where's Stu gone? Oh, there he is.
There he is. He's back.
Stu, do you have a pet sex story before we go?
I must admit, it was I felt something with my balls, let's say.
Why does he always cut out during the best parts of his story?
I've got to plug the laptop in, so the battery died.
Plug into the battery died. And let's get to the fucking point of this.
No, I've had a dog lick my balls.
Of course you have. And that was yesterday. He was eating peanut butter, and it just got out of control. It was, it was a whole thing.
But it was, I don't know. Although it's quite,
we have to recap this. So Big B had a girlfriend well before he was married, folks. Yes. Let's clarify this. Lick his ass, or the girl's ass.
Yes, lick the girl's ass.
And Stu has
the dog did.
The dog did. Oh, you missed the story. You weren't around for this. You didn't hear the story.
Oh, it's Big B.
I don't know. Hear this, man.
No, so real quick for Stu, because he cut out. I was having sex with a girlfriend years ago before I was with my wife. She was on top. She jumped real quick, and apparently her dog was running around the room, jumped up on the bed, and licked her ass while she was on top of me.
It's quite nice.
Only you,
a similar situation, except I was on top and balls.
and so you were banging the shit out of this chick. It wouldn't be the chick with the one leg with the fish tank, would it?
Can we get her on the show? That's
Oh, fuck. Can you find her? She must be on Facebook.
No, she's not. The fish tank, the fish tank girl and the one-legged are two different women.
I want the one-legged chick on the show.
Yes, I'd love.
I have searched for her. I can't find her anymore.
Well, it's because she probably has one leg of a Facebook. Check her on Tinder, Stu. Check her on Tinder. So anyway, Stu, the dog is licking your balls and you're still going. You refuse to quit.
Well, I did mention it after.
Were you thinking a 2-for-1 deal? Is that what was going through your mind?
I have a very strange question. And I'm probably going to go to hell for this and probably draw Armageddon, which we've been talking about. While the dog was licking your balls, did it cause you to come quicker?
No, I think it put me off my stride. If I'm had you have told me,
it put me off my stride.
But that is a good
answer.
answer.
Told me she was going to do that. Yeah, should have told me she was going to do it. I would have expected it, you know. Oh God! But it's a little bit upsetting, you know. It's a little bit off-putting.
Did it feel good?
But kind of.
You know, we're all amongst friends right now.
Yeah,
it's the most bastardized show in the world, and believe me, when Armageddon comes, it's gonna strike us first.
Well, are we sure these dudes want to sponsor this show?
No, well, you know what? They must have found some magic. They must have found some magic.
Are you sure they didn't just listen to the political debate show that we did with Elton Guerrero and think, oh, we'll sponsor that show? Not thinking that they're talking about dogs licking their balls and stuff like that.
God.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it as long as you don't force the animal to do it.
Stu, I need to ask you a question before we close the show and all this shit, but you've told us a lot of weird shit, but what is the strangest sexual encounter you've ever had?
We're crossed between the graveyard.
Was this where your victims were? What like?
What did you do in the graveyard?
What did you strangle your victim and have fucking sex with her post-mortem by the fucking canal and then drag her fucking to the graveyard?
No, because I used to work with this girl and she said, "Oh, we all gone out for a drink and we ended up back at her house. There was like a party going on and her boyfriend was there. And for some reason, me and this girl left the party and she lived not far from King's Cross in London and somewhere around there, it's Camden Town. Somewhere around there, there's a graveyard. We ended up on the graveyard having sex more or less on a tombstone.
Oh, Jesus.
So you had her doggy style on the tombstone.
Yeah, and the same girl. We was along the
oh my God.
Same girl. We was on the towpath along the canals.
Same girl.
And people are walking past.
People are walking.
I was sitting on the bench, like I was sort of like, you know, looking at the boats and the river and all that. And she was astride me, facing me.
Right.
and people were walking past. And I don't know why I did it, but I suppose there are a couple of the scenarios that I was in. What about you guys?
Wait a minute. That is not the finish of the story. You said you were sitting on a bench. What the fuck happened?
Me, facing me.
On a bench
walking past.
Yeah.
Well, it's along the river.
And she was riding you.
Stu, are you a vampire? Because you have stories that you've lived for like hundreds of years.
Look, I've got, I got the girl I banged in the forest before I was married, and I had more mosquito bites on my ass than fuck. We all have great stories, but I never doggy styled anybody by a fucking tombstone.
No, I can't say that I have either.
I'm having a hard time getting a name for this show.
I haven't taken one note, and I guess I should have, but
no, I've got some.
I haven't got a pen and paper tonight.
Anyway, Stu, anything else you want to tell us? We've gotten to no weird news tonight, folks, and we really don't have time. We might have time for one story. It's still early, right? All right, let me one more story. Stu's favorite part of the show. You guys hear about this one? Apparently there was a Florida man, and I apologize, Big B. I didn't cue the Florida music. Florida man beats up ATM for giving him too much money.
That sounds like something a Florida man would do.
To paraphrase a Homer Simpson, no. A Florida man has been charged with criminal mischief after he reportedly beat up a cash machine last month. The reason is it gave him too much. Michael Joseph Olix of Merritt Island was arrested Thursday after a 3-week investigation. Get this now. It took them 3 weeks into a disturbance that took place on November 29th at Wells Fargo in Cocoa. Surveillance video shows, I can't even pronounce this fucker's name, Oklexic, repeatedly punching the ATM screen, according to Florida Today. Witnesses told police Oklexic, 23, called the bank a short time later and told the manager he punched the ATM. He said he was angry at the ATM for giving him too much money. He did not know what to do with it. Big B.
Mm-hmm.
He did not know what to do with it.
Well, may this be the first time in 2018 where I say I have a question.
Of course you do.
There's apparently surveillance video. You mentioned it in the story. We all know ATMs have cameras on them, so you can see, everybody that comes up to the ATM.
Yes.
Why did it take Florida police 3 weeks to investigate this?
I have no idea. He apparently apologized.
Well, and that's the other thing. There's video footage of him beating up the ATM. Right after he beat up the ATM, he called the bank and told them that he did it and told him why he did it. Why does Florida police take 3 weeks to investigate this? I just investigated it in 15 seconds. The guy did it.
I have a question.
Sure.
If the ATM machine gave me too much money, why would I report it?
See, now there's a dilemma that a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people do come across. Now,
Oprah
the ATM gives you
2020, Oprah 2020, baby.
Oprah 2020. If the ATM gives you too much money, it is your duty to give it back to the bank because you are technically stealing.
So would you do that? Would you
Sure.
you give the money back?
Yeah, absolutely, because my transaction is tracked, right? Because you put in your ATM card, you've punched in your code, the bank automatically knows who's withdrawing their money. And if you withdraw more money than you asked for, it doesn't matter if it's their mistake or not. If you don't report it back, then you're stealing it.
So would you punch the shit out of the ATM machine for causing you this difficulty?
No, I don't live in Florida. I live in civilized society, and I don't use Flocka. So no, I wouldn't punch the shit out of an ATM. I would just give it back to the bank. Say, look, your ATM is malfunctioning. I asked for $20. It gave me $200. Here's 180. I'm taking my 20. We will part as friends.
You're far too honest for me.
But
the thing to do. It's different if you walked up to a machine and it was spewing out money.
Right. No,
I think that's a little
that is different because when, like I said, when you go up to an ATM and specifically put in your ATM card or your debit card and you put in your
they're
code,
filming you as well. They're filming you.
One, they're filming you. Two, because you put in your card, they know it's you that's taking out that money. And now if the withdrawal doesn't match, if the withdrawal request doesn't match the amount paid out, and if it's more, they know you took more money than you requested and you didn't give it back. So they're going to go for you and you're going to get arrested. It's easier just to say, hey, look, you guys fucked up. Here's your money. I'm taking what I asked for and I'm leaving.
The way I look at this, Big B, is Barack Obama was a Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
And he became president of the United States without a birth certificate.
Right.
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 If you give me an extra $40, I'm cool.
Yeah, but that's under Obama ruled with, everybody gets an Obama phone and everybody gets this and everybody gets that. We have an actual president now who says, no, you have to earn your things and you have to be honest about things. So yeah, this isn't Obama times anymore.
No.
In Canada, not only have they got your photo or your video evidence of you withdrawing the money, they've got your car registration because you've got drive-through cash machines.
Yeah, true.
Have you got them over there, Big B?
Well, listen,
we do, but not wide. They're not widely. Here.
Truth be told, I have never screwed an ATM machine. So let's.
Okay, Stu has a story where he was drinking and his pants were down.
Yeah. So, Stu, if you have a story where you screwed an ATM machine,
quite literally,
I have never done that before. I'm just saying.
ATM lobby. So it was like inside the bank, but go there at 11 o'clock at night. You put your card or something on the door, and then you go inside where you've got a big bank of machines.
Yep.
There was lots of mischief that went off in there, with the homeless and stuff like that. But personally, I'd never got up to any shenanigans in there.
Well, I will tell you a story. This goes back, folks. Fuck, I don't even know what year it was. When the ATMs first came out, you were able to deposit and take money out. Mm-hmm. And my good friend and I, we went camping And we deposited $200. Well, we didn't really deposit it, but we took the money out and we had Kentucky Fried Chicken at our campsite. But this has got to be like the fucking 80s.
Wait, but you said you deposited it, but you didn't deposit. What did you do?
Well, you put in a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
This is back in the day. You could like.
We've done that as well. We used to, it used to pump out an envelope.
Yeah, you
envelope. And you put your money or your check.
This is in the early days of the ATM.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking deposit it. Here's $1,000.
So okay, so
but we used to.
So what you're saying?
No, we used to do that. Me and my mate used to go to the ATM. Right, 13. We both had like a sort of a bank card, and we'd say, "Yeah, we're going to deposit money." It would spit out an envelope, and you'd write on the envelope how much you put in. So we'd put in like £1,000, or write down £1,000, put it back in the hope that our account the next day would show £1,000 in there. But it never did, and no one ever wrote to us or anything like that, you know.
No, I'm telling you, there was a day back in the day, and I paid my taxes back, and I paid the bills back. There was me and my buddy Frida, who's Kevin, out on the Cave Crew radio page, and we would deposit money into the bank machine and withdraw without actually putting the money in. That's at the very beginning of the days of the bank machine.
They let you do it.
Yes, and we got the money back, and we ate Kentucky Fried Chicken by a fucking campfire.
Yeah, that's got to be at the very beginning, because I don't recall ever being able to do that.
We paid it back because the bank would come to you and go, there was nothing in the envelope, and we went, yeah, it was a long weekend. We were fucked up. We smoked a dime of weed and whatever, and we ended up giving the cash back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was very easy. Nowadays, it scans your check. It does all that shit. And you can't do it.
It gives you a photograph of it now.
Yeah, you can't. Right. You can't scam it. But at the very beginning, you used to be able to scam the bank machine. Can I end the show with this? Woman's mouth becomes pregnant with 12 baby squid after eating calamari. I believe Choo Choo Stu posted this show. This story. Ready, folks?
Please.
Woman's mouth becomes pregnant with 12 baby squid after eating calamari. It's become quite common for people to complain about food babies after they've overindulged in a meal. But how would you react if you actually became pregnant after a meal? Not with a human, but a squid. The idea is horrifying, to say the least. But is such a thing possible? A recent story surfaced that has medical professionals searching for heads. Apparently, I'm sorry, I'm laughing my head off because I love calamari. This utterly bizarre story comes from us from Korea. And a 63-year-old woman. She ate a squid. Apparently, the squid spawned babies. So inside her oral cavity, Big B, she had baby squids. I should go back to that segment we did with Big B about what would you rather.
I have a question.
Imagine biting into calamari and having baby squids pour into your mouth.
I have a question.
Of course you do.
I have several questions, actually.
I don't know if I have the answers.
The squid is dead, yes?
I don't know if I have the answers to your questions.
If you're eating calamari, the squid is dead.
Yes.
And if you're eating calamari, generally the squid is cooked.
Yes.
Yes. It can't carry. What the hell was that?
Fuck is that?
Stu fucking around. I'm watching him. So if the squid is dead and the squid is cooked, it's not producing eggs because it's dead.
Right.
And let's just say, okay, you were alive.
Why could not the eggs incubate?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's Korea or Mozambique. If it's dead, it can't reproduce.
Yeah, but no one's mentioned cooking.
All right, I'll give you that. Fine. he brings a good point. But let's go on that assumption now. Now the squid
calamari is a cooked dish, isn't it?
That's what I said. It's cooked. It's a dead squid that's cooked.
I agree. Yeah, I agree there.
Right, but let's just say it's not. Okay, let's just say it's live. So they're eating raw squid, and it's alive for some reason.
Yes.
In general, I don't know how many species doesn't need a mate. Doesn't need, it takes two to make a baby. In general, in all of life, it takes two of the species to create life.
Right.
So if the squid is female, let's just say, and it's laying its eggs, it would need a male squid to come and it kind of, fertilize the eggs, right?
They may be fertilized inside her already.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so let's say they're fertilized inside her already. Now her mouth became impregnated, right? Does she not chew?
So this Korean chick took a bite of a calamari, and squids just shot in her mouth like her husband on the first date. I don't.
And probably not too dissimilar to that as well.
I mean, this is basically saying like Tracy Lord's mouth got impregnated.
If you ever cleaned the squid out, but she was a surrogate.
So your
surrogate
chick was a surrogate.
She's a surrogate.
Is there a custody battle going on now between the squid and the Korean?
But it is. They usually kind of little orifice, and her mouth. They just think, well, we'll plant the seed here.
But again, if she's laying, doesn't it need to be fertilized by the male?
I think they've been fertilized.
No, you fertilized the squid, and it instantly shot babies into her mouth, and she was impregnated.
But how many holes does she have in her mouth then? Like, is her mouth just one gaping big orifice inside of her? I mean, if you're taking a bite of a squid, you're chewing, right? You've got to chew.
She wasn't
and swallow.
impregnated into her womb. Basically, what they were saying is that there was squid inside her mouth.
Right.
I think, and I mean, we all know it's not really going to happen, but.
I think what they're saying is she bit into a pregnant squid, and all these things, and I know it's disgusting, but it's squished into her mouth.
But let's go back to the original point that I said, and Stu as a chef reinforced. If you're eating calamari, it's dead and it's cooked. So even if there are eggs there, the eggs aren't alive anymore.
Well, we don't know that. They might be incubating like an alien.
Yes, but even in aliens, when they got set on fire, they died. So if they're cooked, they're dead eggs.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. All right, kids, we gotta end this. I have no idea what we're gonna call this show. Doggy Style by a Tombstone. That put me off my stride. And a surrogate fucking squid. I'm going to call this and dog licks the piss. I'm going to call this a surrogate. Is that the right way to pronounce it?
Surrogate.
A surrogate squid. Is that the right way to say it? A surrogate squid. Over to you, Big B.
Like I said, I haven't taken one note, but what I came up with is we call this show a dog licking, squid sucking good time.
I like it, though. Hang on. I need a new page. A dog licking,
squid sucking good time.
Squid sucking good time. Stu?
I'm just going to go with Big B.
So here it is, folks.
I was actually thinking of the doggy style, but no, that's good. I like that.
I like the doggy style by the Tombstone. I've had more notes. I can't believe you guys aren't taking notes.
I totally forgot.
I was wondering about the dog that licked the ass, too.
Well, that's why it's a dog licking, squid sucking good time.
Yeah, a dog. I just hope I can read my own writing. A dog licking, squid sucking good time.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't induce downloads, I don't know what will.
What about doggy style on a tombstone?
I can't believe you went doggy style on a tombstone. I want to try that sometime.
Sure, go ask your wife.
Oh, yeah. Hey, honey, want to go to the graveyard? Want to doggy style you down by Ulysses Grant's tombstone? Want to bench you over a fucking piece of a dead guy and squeeze it up your ass? All right, kids. It was great to be back. We had fun. I hope you did.
I'm just looking the cemetery up where it must have been. It looks such a nice place as well.
Jesus. Can you put the Google map up for us, and we'll post that on the episode.
With you. It looks such a lovely, tranquil place. But it didn't look like it didn't look like that at 2:00 in the morning. Saw it.
Everyone's dead. Everyone's fucked up, and I don't have the Fuck. There we go. I can end this shit now. It was such a tranquil place, ladies and gentlemen. His balls were being licked by a dog, and he had her over a headstone. Most romantic place you could ever. And then, guess what? They went for sushi. Later. All right. You can catch us live here every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on Cape Crew Radio. Hang on a minute. I got to check my notes.
Oh, look at how nice that looks.
We are live Sunday, 5 p.m. on Mile High Radio, and Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on i95sportsnetwork.com. You can also catch us on Spotify now, Player FM, and anywhere else you find a podcast. Big B, are you guys coming back next week? Or
yes, we will be back next week. Metal Thunder Radio Live every Tuesday night, right here on Cave Crew Radio, and replayed every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on Mile High Radio.
And of course, Choo Choo Stew, you're just everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. I'm everywhere.
All right, kids.
Been on the Mike Gillette show, actually, but
yeah. Read this to me one more time. A dog licking, squid sucking good time.
Yep.
All right. Night, folks.
Later.
Good night.
Shut up! Shut up!